welcome Trinidad and Tobago to our News 4 report, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Vina Bharat. Let's take a look at the headlines. The late Prime Minister George Chambers and Labour leader Adrian Kolarienzi are among 3 recipients of the nation's highest award, the Order of Trinidad and Tobago. A two-pronged approach to imposing law and order in this country is being announced by Prime Minister Kamla Bisasso, and Caledonia AIA falls short against Seattle at home. A two-pronged approach to imposing law and order in this country is being announced by Prime Minister Kamla Bisasso, who says crime is one of the critical areas which remains an unfortunate reminder of how much needs to be done to transform society. Mrs. Bisasso was addressing the nation on the occasion of the Golden Jubilee anniversary of its independence, where she revealed some details on the plan.
The Ministry of National Security has been sharing with me a two-pronged approach to dealing with this issue. One is a strong social program, which includes an intensifying of sports activity, mentorship, education, skills training and employment, while the other arm is about an aggressive zero-tolerance intervention in all hotspot areas. Special units, new resources, surveillance technology and interception methods combine to make the strategies different and more effective.
A new plan towards imposing law and order in this country being outlined by Prime Minister the Honourable Kamla Bisasso. Meanwhile, Mrs. Bisasso says a new major phase of development in this country's economy that has been engaging government's attention over the past few months will be revealed within the upcoming weeks.
It will cover the most ambitious infrastructural and financial investment program ever launched in Trinidad and Tobago, one that will become a beacon for the region. As you know, the nation's new Minister of Finance has been diligently planning the way forward for Trinidad and Tobago that will be worthy of the celebrations we mark today across the nation. This is indeed a new era, a new opportunity, a shift in consciousness and conscience.
The Prime Minister also touched on the issue of bad parenting. She says the character education program launched by the Ministry of Education is one strategy being identified by government as a means of instilling values at an early age. She is also announcing that Cabinet will be examining a formal parenting program based on those which have achieved remarkable success in other parts of the world.
We cannot change what kind of adults our children become unless we change the kind of parents we are. And so many of us do not know how to cope with the stresses of our lives and responsibilities of parenthood. Family life has changed from what it was 50 years ago, but there has been no comprehensive, effective system or program put in place to buffer the negative effects of single-parent homes and stressful professional life. I intend to examine ways and incentives through which more local arts, music and culture and sport can receive greater exposure and appreciation in Trinidad and Tobago.
Mrs. Bisasso also paid tribute to those great men and women whom she said positioned this country towards achieving independence, and also to those whom she says helped to make Trinidad and Tobago stand tall throughout the 50 years.
I pay tribute to the late Honourable Dr. Eric Eustace Williams, our country's first Prime Minister and founding father of our nation. Dr. Rudranath Kapildev, the first leader of the opposition of an independent Trinidad and Tobago. Sir Ellis Clark, the principal architect of our 1962 Constitution and our first President of Trinidad and Tobago. And so I pay tribute to those great men and women who sacrifice and work hard to shape and sustain the 3 organs of our constitutional government, the Parliament, the Judiciary and the Executive. I pay tribute to the working class and in particular the thousands of public officers and the protective services, the business class whose dedication to duty developed our economy and social institutions. I pay tribute to our religious leaders and organizations which through all the years kept us and continue to keep us firmly grounded in our faith and belief in God.
Mrs. Bisasso also highlighted the tremendous strides Trinidad and Tobago has made as a nation over the past 50 years. She says these achievements have panned into various fields, including carnival, sport, trade and investment, and the creative industries, including fashion, music, and literature. The Prime Minister is also boasting that Trinidad and Tobago remains a leading world exporter of liquefied natural gas, methanol, and ammonia, and is amongst the most experienced in the energy sector. President of the United States of America, Barack Obama, has joined other world leaders in extending greetings to Trinidad and Tobago in recognition of our 50th independence anniversary. President Obama, in his congratulatory message, emphasizes that his administration is committed to working closely with Trinidad and Tobago to improve the safety and security of both sets of citizens, and extends his best wishes to the people of Trinidad and Tobago as we celebrate independence. Chinese President Hu Jintao, in a letter addressed to his Trinidadian counterpart president, His Excellency Professor George Maxwell Richards, says he would like to, quote, extend on behalf of the Chinese people and in my own name, warm congratulations and best wishes to you and through you to the people of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of independence of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, unquote. He adds that he would like to see Trinidadians and Tobagonians enjoy prosperity and live in happiness. In sending his warmest wishes, Canadian Governor-General David Johnston recalls experiencing firsthand the warm relationship that exists between Canada and Trinidad and Tobago during his recent state visit to Trinidad and Tobago. He states his confidence that the friendship between the two countries, quote, will only be strengthened in the coming year, as the connection shared by both countries is founded on long-standing economic and political ties and is nurtured by the close personal bonds that have connected our peoples for decades, unquote. Also wishing the nation happy 50th independence is Secretary General of the United Nations Ban Ki-moon. He describes the Independence Jubilee as an opportunity to celebrate the proud culture and history of Trinidad and Tobago. He also expresses his appreciation of this country's participation in the United Nations and its contribution to helping forge shared solutions to world challenges. We'll take a short break and be right back with more news on TV4.
Now, if you are in a flood-prone area, move your valuable items above expected floodwaters.
Construct flood barriers to prevent water from entering your home or building.
The next big problem that causes flooding is the dumping of garbage and appliances by the river. How much times we will say to put the old stove and fridge by the river bank? Listen, it's going to create even more flooding.
Here are some other precautions you can take.
Turn off gas and electricity. Unplug all electrical appliances.
Put dangerous liquids like strong chemicals and flammable liquids in a safe place and close those containers tightly.
Place important documents, passport, deed, birth certificate, in waterproof containers or sealed plastic bags.
Common sense now. Park your vehicle in an area that will not flood.
Secure pets on higher ground.
Have an emergency plan for your family or business so you'll know what to do beforehand, where you will go, and how you will deal with the flooding situation.
That was some real good tips, Dee. But at the end of the day, flooding takes place. And if indeed you become a victim of flooding, here is the hookup. You need to contact your regional corporation or the ODPM at 800 ODPM.
Great, Jason. Remember, damages caused by flooding can be minimized. So let's plan and prepare.
In order to safeguard our family, our community, and our country.
A message from the Ministry of National Security, Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management.
The late Prime Minister George Chambers and Labour leader Adrian Kolarienzi are among three recipients of the nation's highest award, the Order of Trinidad and Tobago, for the country's Golden Jubilee. 76 persons were presented with awards at a special ceremony at Queen's Hall, St. Anne's, which commemorated this country's 50th independence anniversary.
It was an evening of patriotism as this country paid homage to a number of persons who made invaluable contributions to society. And while the country acknowledges the achievements of its youth, It also looks back to the legacy left by politicians.
Mr. George Michael Chambers, posthumously, former Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago in the sphere of public service. Miss Andrea Chambers, his daughter, will accept the award.
Chambers served as Prime Minister from 1981 to 1986. He was appointed to the post by the late President Sir Ellis Clarke after his predecessor, Dr. Eric Williams, died in office. The award of the order went to former Prime Minister George Chambers and former Labour leader Kola Renzi.
Mr. Adrian Kola Rienzi, posthumously, former Labour leader in the sphere of Labour. Mr. Robert Waugh, his son, will accept the award.
He was first President General of the Oilfield Workers Trade Union, OWTU, and was involved in the establishment of 3 other trade unions. He was also the first president of the Trinidad and Tobago Trades Union Council from its foundation in 1938 until 1944. The Shakonia Gold for long and meritorious service tending to promote national welfare or strengthening community was awarded to a number of persons including Dr. Hamid Alfredo Ghani. And first up to receive the Hummingbird Medal for loyal and devoted service in any field of human endeavor or other human action to Trinidad and Tobago was awarded to Miss Joyce Habakan in the sphere of community service. Apart from the award ceremony, a cultural show was also part of the spectacular event. Joseph Lopez, News 4.
Olympic gold medalist Keyshawn Walcott made history yet again by being awarded this country's highest honor, the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago by President George Maxwell Richards at the National Award Ceremony. The award ceremony took place at the Queen's Hall on Independence Day.
In addition to being the youngest ever winner of the Olympic gold medal in javelin, Walcott was elated to become the youngest ever recipient of the country's highest award at the age of 19. The expected award of the Order of the Republic to Walcott follows a long tradition of this country honoring its achievers in the field of sport. He will become the 5th sports person in this country post-independence history to attain the highest honor.
The Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago may be awarded for distinguished and outstanding service to Trinidad and Tobago. The Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago is today awarded to Mr. Keyshawn Walcott, athlete in the sphere of sport.
Also, the Hummingbird Medal Gold went to Trinidad and Tobago's bronze medalists at the 2012 London Olympic Games.
Mr. Lalonde Gordon, athlete in the sphere of sport.
In 1994, the Trinity Cross was awarded to cricketer Brian Lara after he broke the Test cricket records. It was the first time in 15 years that a sportsman had been given the highest award. Sprinter Atto Bolton got the same award after winning bronze at the 1996 Atlanta Olympic Games 100-meter sprint and silver in the 200-meter race. Joseph Lopez, News 4.
We'll be right back with the News 4 Sport Reports.
I'm Natasha, and like most Trinbagonians, I love the beach. The beach can be fun, but we have to be tsunami smart and know the warning signs. You're at the beach and you feel the earth shake. Run. You see the water moving an unusual distance out from the shore. Run. You hear a strange roar from the sea. Run. If you experience any of these warning signs, run to higher ground. Be tsunami smart and know the natural warning signs. They could save your life.
A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Management, United States Agency for International Development, Caribbean Disaster and Emergency Management Agency, UWI Seismic Research Center, and the European Union.
After suffering an opening round loss to Seattle Sounders in the CONCACAF Champions League, followed by a draw versus CD Marathon of Honduras, Caledonia AIA were in a must-win situation when they met Seattle in the return leg at the Atchison Stadium in Couva on Thursday. But as you will see in this Wayne Cunningham report, the Morval Laventel squad did not get it right on the night.
With just 2 more games to go in the group stage of the CONCACAF Champions League and just 1 point to show from their first 2 matches, only a win would keep alive Caledonia AIA's campaign as they met the Seattle Sounders on Thursday at the Atchison Stadium in Couva. Jamal Shabazz and his men were beaten by the MLS club in their first match, but were confident on home turf. And they pushed forward early, but left gaps at the back. Goalkeeper Glenroy Samuel doing his best to keep this one out. National Under-23 forward Jamal Gay would be Caledonia's target man, and he went about his mission in search of an early goal. Wingback Kareem Joseph forcing a save out of the Seattle keeper as he tried to find an overlapping Radanfa Abubakar. AIA looking good early as usual. And just as it looked like they would be heading into the break all even, Seattle struck. Alex Kasky gets on the inside of Abubakar to make it 1-0 in the 45th minute. It became 2-0 15 minutes into the second half. Sami Ochoa catching Samuel off his line and slaps it into the top corner. To their credit, AIA did not give up. Gay became Seattle's biggest tormentor. Only an illegal pull stopped him here. Penalty. Joseph calmly slotted the spot kick home to keep his team in the match. Gay coming close to an equalizer with a header as the home team pressed. His hard work would be for naught, as his defenders let in what can only be described as a soft goal for Seattle to go 3-1 up in the 68th minute and slam the door on AIA. There would be no way back for the Morval Laventel squad. The loss making the final game against CD Marathon in Honduras a mere formality. Wayne Cunningham, News 4 Sports.
News 4 will return after the break.
We are reporting from communities across the country. People are calling Nalis Libraries their library. Tell me, why is Nalis your library?
My library is where I can have fun learning.
My library is helping me earn better grades with online research resources.
My library is my gateway to the world of information.
My library is providing access to the differently abled. As a visually impaired person, I can envision limitless possibilities.
My library is making my world truly worldwide with free internet access.
My library is helping me keep an eye on my health with access to the virtual health library via the Nalis website.
Nalis is my library. There's a spark of greatness in each of us. That spark is called personality. Individual gifts and talents provide the fuel to set that spark ablaze. Each child has the right to an education which values their personality and nurtures their talents, while teaching them to be respectful to their parents and their cultures.
Citizens made their way to the Queen's Park Savannah on Friday morning to witness Trinidad and Tobago's 50th Independence Day Parade. The parade was a highly anticipated one as this country celebrated its Golden Jubilee of Independence, and the crowds were not left disappointed.
Persons arrived in the capital city and packed the grandstand and surrounding areas of the Queen's Park Savannah from as early as 6 a.m. to witness the historic event. The national colors, red, white, and black, were seen everywhere, as all in attendance showed their patriotism by donning at least one of the colors. The parade included members of all the arms of the Defense Force and the protective services, such as the Army, Coast Guard, Air Guard, Police, Fire, and Prison Services. Also taking part were the Cadet Force, the Red Cross, and the St. John's Ambulance Corps. Several CARICOM leaders were specially invited to the proceedings to sit alongside Prime Minister the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisasso. Seated with her in the VIP area of the grandstand was Jamaican Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller and St. Vincent Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves. President His Excellency Professor George Maxwell Richards arrived at 8 a.m. on the dot, and the formalities of the parade then began. President Richards, being the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, was then invited to inspect the troops. Following this, the spectators were treated to a thrilling display by the members of the Air Guard as their helicopters flew past the parade and even accompanied the troops on their march off the parade square. The most amount of excitement and applause was reserved, though, for the Defense Force Rhythm Team, who treated the crowd to an entertaining display which no words can do justice to explain.
Performance purposes, as we call it, pokey drill. Oh, that's what you call pokey drill.
We used to call this pokey drill, or parts of it.
The show ended with a 21-gun salute and the marching bands playing Happy Birthday to You, which the crowd changed the lyrics of to reflect TNT's 50th birthday as an independent nation. Gregory McBurney, News 4.
Meanwhile, GISL TV4 took to the streets of Port of Spain to hear just how you feel as a citizen of this country on this year being our Golden Independence Anniversary. For most Trinbagonians, the 50th anniversary of independence stirred up a greater sense of pride. Our cameras caught up with Shanice Martin, who says Trinbagonians are indeed blessed to be part of such an historic moment.
I think it's a great accomplishment for our people that we could all unite as one nation and one people to celebrate the 50th anniversary. I think it's a great opportunity that we can share the space and time where He chose us to be together in the same geographical location to share this life together. I think it's a great opportunity for all of us and a great accomplishment. Happy 50th anniversary, Trinidad and Tobago.
This young man says Trinidad and Tobago has a lot to be proud of, and he looks forward to celebrating 100 years of independence in the next 50 years.
To me, independence is a celebration, celebrating 50 years of Trinidad and Tobago. Come a long way, and I hope to see 50 more years. Hopefully I'll be able to live to see that much.
This proud Trinidadian says she remembers the pride she felt as she stood tall on that precious moment when Trinidad and Tobago became an independent nation 50 years ago.
It was glorious. I was still a young girl, as you say. Went to school, just left school, just left school. And we gained independence. I was very happy about that because, we was under the British rule. I wish Trinidad and Tobago a happy 50th anniversary And I hope our nation could grow and learn from all the mistakes that we have made. Happy independence.
That's all for News 4 Reports, a product of the Government Information Services Limited and the Ministry of Communications. I'm Vina Bharat, thanking you so much for joining us.